welcome again everybody to another art video. Got some music playing here, some relaxing ambient kind of deep style music. I made myself. I've got various ones I do. I'm very inspired by music from the game series Shenmue. Shenmue is an amazing computer game series that I grew up playing, and I like the music in it, so I like to make kind of atmospheric music myself. Anyway, so I've got this music in the background. Yeah, so you can't see me in this one, you can just see me drawing on my screen. I'm just going to check that the setup's all okay. Saving the video into this folder here, which is good actually, because I'm going to show you something while I'm here too. As I say, behind the scenes, what I'm doing is I'm working very hard trying to plan scenes for new animated cartoons that I'm working on, as well as some games as well. But one thing I like to do is work with like grids, and I'll show you, like for example, the other day I was taking photos of this, taking screenshots here. This was done in Sketchup, and I'm using a screen recording software called ShareX. It's a free one, ShareX, and you can also do screenshots. I'm recording this video using ShareX. It's a free screen recording software. It's very good quality. You can't have a webcam actually in the actual app itself, but it does have, in the software itself, but it does have the sound. As you can hear, I'm recording the sound, and it's good quality, and there's no watermark. And not only that, but there's a ton of options too, a lot of options for doing screenshots, such as, you can see this red line here across this grid that I've done, and I'm going to show you various others. You can actually draw over, see, this was a 3D grid that I made in Sketchup in software, okay. And basically you can, like, before you take a screenshot, you can like literally draw on the screen. Please excuse me. So what I'm doing here is just do a few rough sketch lines and stuff, and then from there I can take this into art software and then draw over it and do proper art. But it's just a good quick way to kind of sketch out some rough scenery and stuff, ideas and stuff, now let's go on to what I was saying. So yeah, we've got various different ways of looking at the grids too in SketchUp, like this. You see different kinds of views and stuff you can see, and things you can do. I'm actually thinking of using these grids for certain things as well. If you want to just see what that looks like again quickly, because I've used them before. I made this. I went into SketchUp, okay. SketchUp, the software, and I made this grid a while back, and it's very handy, very useful. So excuse me, it's quite late now. It's gone 1 o'clock in the morning, but I'm going to stay awake doing drawing for a while. Yeah. See, I can turn it around. Okay, this is a grid. I made this. I've got a wireframe view on, and you can use this. I've shown you this before in other videos, different kinds of grids and stuff you can do. And just looking at this here, I mean, if you use your imagination, you can like come up with all kinds of scenes. You can imagine buildings. It could be a forest. It could be any kind of scene. It could be just in a room or something, in a single room, or a hallway. Look, you see, or a road, or with shops along the side of the road. It could be like far out here. It could be really close down there, mapping where the roads are, or anything. You could use this very, very cleverly and just draw certain things. Use the 3D perspective to set up scenery and draw your characters in. You'd simply take a picture, take a screenshot of this, and bring it into art software and draw over it. Draw on top of that, on another layer, and then delete the back layer. So I think it's handy. If anyone would like to get hold of this as like a file setup, I don't know how I'd go about sharing that. I don't know how I would go about sharing it, but I can show you very quickly how to make one yourself if you like. But yeah, I may be able to share this with you. If you want to make it yourself, if you have SketchUp, okay, just open up SketchUp. I'll show you very quickly. If you want to know how to make that, you get rid of this guy, just erase this character in whatever version of SketchUp you're using for the most part. Make a cube, okay, make a square the best you can, like a rough square. If you can get it perfect, get it perfect. But don't worry if you can't. Then push it up or pull it up so it makes more or less a good cube shape. Okay, more or less. It's not perfect. Now from here, I'm going to click 3 times to select the whole thing. For the controls, by the way, I'm using, you know, the mouse wheel, the middle button to scroll in and out for the zoom, and then to turn the camera, you press the middle mouse wheel in like a button and just hold it and turn the camera around. But if you want to do the same thing but pan as well, without selecting anything, because I've already selected it, choose the hand option at the top here. It's just beside that wheel, like this wheel thing that turns it with the left mouse button now to turn. You can still zoom in and out, but you can't pan. If you want to pan and turn, pan means kind of like strafing, like if you played computer games where you like sidestep and stuff, up, down, left, right. You choose this hand, and now with the left mouse button, if you click the mouse button down, the left mouse button and hold, you can go in any direction like this. Plus you can zoom in and out with the middle mouse button, and you can press the middle mouse button in and hold it and then turn the camera like that. So you've got all that control there, all the different angles. Okay, if you want to go back to like just choosing things, you're going to have to go up here, unless you know a shortcut, and just click the arrow, the select tool. Okay, and you get to know about all the tools. I've got a lot of extra tools up the top here because I've downloaded various add-ons and stuff. But anyway, yeah, so I'm going to click 3 times. This is what I want to do. I don't know why. This may help, I think. I'm going to right click now, and I'm going to press make group, or you can go to make a component. I've done both. Yeah, I'm going to click on that just 1 time now because it's a group. I think group works anyway. Just group's fine enough. You don't need to go to components. Click on it. Now you don't need to click 3 times. Now from here, okay, go up here to the move tool. This is not a full-on tutorial with SketchUp, but I'm showing you a few things here. Right, there's quite a few tools up here you can use in SketchUp, such as this one for making shapes, and then this tool here for push and pull, for pushing and holding. So lift it up. That's how we turn this square into a cube. Got this one here for like rotation. You can rotate this object on different axes, on the axis, and you can a lot of different other ones here. But this one we're going to use now, the move tool. Okay, if you click this one and click anywhere, you're going to be able to move the thing. Okay, I'm going to press hold control and press Z or Z for undo. Set that back to its original position. Now from here, if you press, I think it's press control and then left click, and now let go of control and left click, and you'll see it makes another square. Now I can still press the middle mouse button in like a wheel to control that, or zoom in and out as I'm just arranging that. Try and get that just about the same there. Okay, now I'm going to click the select the arrow tool up here, top left, click out, then click anywhere outside of these, like the green area. Now click with the left mouse button outside and drag, hold to make a dotted line to select everything. Okay, right click and then press make group again. Now we're going to go back to the move tool and repeat the process. If you do it right, you can follow along the line with the axis too, but don't go here because sometimes it will turn it, you see. Don't go to that. Don't go right in the middle of the crosses here, just go elsewhere. Now press control on the keyboard, hold it down and then press left click once. Okay, then let go of control and left click, move that up or to another point, and then basically you just put them as close as you can together. And mine aren't snapping. I don't know if there's an option for snapping or not, but anyway, just right click again, hold that, right click, make group. Okay, what it is you'll see what it is. You just make a massive cube based on all of these, what you've made. I'm just going to make a small one, but obviously for the one I showed you, that wireframe one, it was massive, like, quite a lot, and that's the best thing to do, to have more. You just zoom in and out with the camera, right? You can resize the whole thing as well later on when it's a thing if you want. Because right, yeah, it's just a case of duplicate. You don't want to go. You don't want to duplicate cube by cube. You want to make it faster by doubling. So 2, then 4, then 8, then double 16, then double that. You know. Okay. So yeah, move tool and go up. See the axis things are things. See, I'll show you in a moment. That's there. Okay. Now I'm going to do that a few times. Make group. It's funny because this is like almost like a kind of mini SketchUp tutorial in itself. This video, isn't it? Now, yeah. Sometimes the camera can be a bit annoying. You see what I'm doing, right? It takes a bit of patience, but once you've got that done. By the way, you don't have to make a component. Okay, make it this one thing, like right click and make it a group or anything. You don't need to do that. You can, as long as they're all highlighted as one thing, you know, that's all that matters. And I'm making them equal, so 4 by 4 it's an absolute square. But by this side it's 2, isn't it? So I need to double that up. Okay. Oh, careful on the axis. Get the camera in the right position first. Okay, now I'm going to make 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to make 8 of this big cube, just to make a small one, and then show you. You could make it even bigger if you wanted to. I'm just making it a cube for quickness, for easiness there. Grouping that. Oh, excuse me. I'm not making a Rubik's cube, guys. It's okay. We're nearly done. We're nearly done. We're nearly done. See how fast you can make one. And once you've made one, it's easy because all you need to do is just save the file. I wouldn't save. You don't necessarily need to save the model necessarily. You can just save it as a SketchUp file. That's what I've done for my one. Okay. So you know, move that there. Okay. Now that's one thing. I'm going to select the whole thing. Zoom out. Select the whole thing. Right click and make group. Now what you're going to see is you've got this cube, right? But it's not really useful like this, is it? Okay. You can make it even massiver. My one was much bigger than this. I duplicated this whole thing many times, but you know what you do basically is you could save this as an object and then bring it into other applications too. But what you do is is you go into the view. See, I didn't get it perfect either, like here, because the line's here, but it doesn't matter. They're not the right exact size anyway. If you want to, I'm not going to go into detail for now. I'm just going to show you. Okay, from here, if you go to window up the top here, window, and go down to styles, okay, and then go over here under the default styles, go to wireframe mode. Click that, and now look what happens. It gives you this. Okay, click that off, and you can go inside this and turn the camera. So you can see this one is a much smaller version of the one I had, because my one was even bigger. My one, god damn it. But you got this grid. You see, it's really useful, and you can use it to set up 3D scenes. This could be inside a kitchen, or it could be a whole city, or it could be anything, you know. Or it could just be a character sitting on a bench, someone walking down the street. Or you can draw the characters in and use it. It's going to help you for the perspective. Now what you can do is, to make it a bit easier to see things, is you can do another little trick I found, which is a couple of tricks actually. Go into window and go to styles, and you can choose another. I'll just show you another version, which is this version here, the one that says X-ray. That gives you a very strange one. Like, it's quite hard once you get inside though. The camera moves very slowly. You have to move it manually, but you get this kind of a look, and it kind of makes certain areas look like certain things. It's quite a interesting one. It gives like kind of a different viewpoint of everything, so that it comes up with all kinds of things. You kind of imagine you're looking through windows or buildings. But I'm going to go back to the wireframe one. That's the one I usually use. Okay, wireframe. And what you're going to do is click that off. Another little trick I'm going to show you. A trick is by going to fog. Okay, go into fog here. Go to fog and click on display fog. Okay. click it, okay. Or if you didn't do that, you can also go to view down at the top of view and go down to fog, and it will come on. But to get control of fog, as the same with shadows in SketchUp, but we just need fog for now. Go to window and go down to fog. Okay, check that box if it's not on. By adjusting these bars, like the right one or the other one, it affects the distance, okay, of the fog. You see, and that makes it more easy for us to see. Like for here, let's see if I'm zooming in here. The camera moves pretty fast when you're in wireframe mode too. Another thing I want to say is because our setup we've got here, the one I've made for you here, is not a very massive one like my one. It's not too much of a big deal, but it's like with a big one you might need more like that. Now play around with the camera, you'll get used to the controls and the tools in SketchUp the more you play around with it. Or you can go to view and turn off axis, okay? Turn off axis if I was you. It just gets in the way sometimes. And then, as I say, so going back to window and going back to fog, and then playing with this the bars here, you can kind of decide how much of that you want to see, how far those squares go out. See, the lines, and that's good, isn't it? Useful. See, turning the camera around and stuff. See here. Okay, and then you can change the colour of the fog too. It's white because it's just set to white. You don't really need to change it if you've gone into wireframe mode. It won't show anything else anyway, but it says use background colour, see, and if you check the box or not, it's still white. But if you wanted to change the colour, you can click on that square there and just change the colour to another colour if you wanted to. I'll just show you quickly. Change your colour to yellow. You could do that if you wanted to do that, but I like to keep it as just a white kind of colour, whatever. And then what you do is, as I say, you just take this into an art software. Like for example, if I save this out, file, go to file and export, but not 3D model, go to export 2D graphic, okay? Remember, don't forget so you don't have to make this again, remember to save the file though, okay? Go to file, save as, and just save it as a SketchUp. It says SketchUp models, SKP, but just save it as that. Don't export it as another file format like a model, like day or anything like that. But anyway, go to export now and go to 2D graphic and save it. I was going to name it as anything, put it on the desktop, just for an example here. I'm not going to save this one, I'm going to turn it off. I've saved the image. I'm going to show you. I'm going to bring this into an art software just to show you quickly. I'll bring it into Fire Alpaca just very quickly. Click this open, okay. Now this is our image here, okay. You could resize that if you wanted to. This is the image I just took, the photo. You can make another layer on top or below. Please excuse me there. You can make another layer on top or below, and if you make one below, then you're going to need to colour it. So for example, make the whole thing white, for example, okay. I mean another layer, make another layer, okay, and put that below. And then what you can do is with this image as your top layer, just change the opacity, make it kind of transparent but faint, so you can just about see the lines. And then you make a third layer on top and you start drawing with your black pen. You see, and you can draw just directly on there and draw, and just work out your scenery. You can do rough sketches first and then turn those down on the bar here, and then make another proper layer on top of that if you want to do it that way, and delete the layers you don't need. Like you can delete this later on, you can delete your pencil sketch, keep your pen layer, If you don't understand what I've said, watch this video again, listen carefully to what I'm saying. I know I'm speaking fast, I need to hurry with something here. I want to just say yeah, thanks for watching, I hope you're enjoying it. Again, going back, pressing back on the top left here to undo a few things. We're going back to our initial setup that we had. So I started off with just one layer. If you look here, this image, with what you can do is I've not changed the opacity to transparent, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to you can just do this. You'll still need to make a background like we had though anyway later on, but go to filter and go to levels. This is in Fire Alpaca, okay, but the same sort of thing works in different software. Just adjust the contrast and the brightness basically, so you get something like this. Look, you can have it slightly grey if you want, easier on the eyes. Make it very faint, see? So it's not transparent, we're just affecting the brightness and the contrast. But once you've done that, you can't get it back. It's not like the transparency, the opacity bar we just had. Then make a layer on top, and then from here you can just start drawing, you see. So I could have, you know, people here shopping on the streets, and those lines, they really show you, you know, I can have trees and stuff, you know. I'm just doing this very quickly to show you, you know. They really do show the perspective, like what's closer to us and what's further away, you know. So, kind of fence here. You know, I'm just doing this roughly just to show you now. A road could go down there, see. Okay, for example, pavement. You know what I mean? And you can just work your scenes. I'm just doing a rough thing just to show you, you know. But you could do any kinds of see, this could be a bench or something here, you see. You don't even have to follow the lines exactly, straight lines. It's not because of that. We can have it on another angle if we wanted to. You know, like, I don't know what this is. Some shelves or something. You know, it could be anything, you know. Well, that should be like that actually, because we can't see the top of it from this angle. But it teaches you a lot about perspective as well, so it's a good way to improve your perspective drawings too, you know. And yeah, and you can just practice with like drawing stick figures in positions and stuff, trying to draw them like a rough kind of like that, with a circle head and a body, and then a line for the, you know, hips and the shoulders in line, and you know, just do them. And then later on you can draw over those, and just change the opacity of that, and then make another layer on top and start drawing proper art and draw, you know, draw your pictures. It's useful, you know. But for the, obviously you're not going to keep this as the background. This you're going to have to have a proper background, aren't you? Like, so, or you can just adjust the brightness again, make it fully like that, so you can't see the lines later on. I'm saying, if you don't start it like the first way I showed you with like multiple layers. But okay, so you've got the background layer, then you've got that frame, you know, the wireframe grid, and then you've got your pencil sketch, and then your pen line art on top of it. Basically, I didn't think I'd be going into another full-on explanation of this. I've actually made a video on this kind of stuff before, and that, you know, but I hope you found that useful. Anyway, I'm going to stop this video, I think, because the reason being is because I was actually going to show you something else. I'll just show you briefly what I'm doing, but I need to stop talking because it's pretty late now. People want to sleep here, you know, but I'm going to be up drawing and stuff. Yeah, I was working with that grid at first. I'm planning like a storyboard here. This is Critter. Another art software, Critter. The other one I just showed you was Fire Alpaca. I like both of these. They're great for doing art and animation. I'm using a pen and a graphics tablet like screen here. But anyway, I'm just saying, I like to make these storyboards. I think it's a faster way of planning scenes for my cartoons. So this is not a comic, and this is not great art. I'm just roughly sketching out scenes here. Okay, so there's a guy here walking towards a big sign post, and this is like a rough setup. It's not perfect art, it's just a setup to quickly visualize scenes, like doing multiple little very quick rough sketches of what I want to be showing in each shot for certain scenes and ideas. And then from there you get faster at quickly sketching out different scenes, you know, roughly doing it with the perspective and everything. And then from there you just basically, what I'll do is I'll show you in another video what I've got, some ideas of mine, different ways I do things for turning these images then into the rough sketches, which I will then use for reference or draw over like doing proper art on top of it for animation. But I think it's very good for getting the reference, you know. It's very important to get your initial camera setups and stuff. That's very, very important. And sizing of everything. So there's a guy standing here, okay. So yeah, I'm not doing the best job here. I want to find actually the shortcuts and stuff for some of the stuff here. They're like keyboard shortcuts for like the eraser, for example, and things like that. Oh, in fact, I know, I've just remembered, I can press the pen as an eraser. Hang on, I've done this before. Yeah, that's it, I'm just pressing the pen here. But apart from that though, there's another way of doing it, you know. It feels funny doing it. I like to choose tools within the software, but anyway. This is a rough thing, it's not supposed to be good art. Sometimes you can get very carried away still trying to draw them like this. This is just literally a stick figure it's supposed to be. I really don't like that perspective as well, this guy so far. So I'm going to erase that. Control Z. So I'm going to have the guys about here. Waist's about there. That's about there. You're looking at the sign. Waist about there, I think. But that's a bit too high now. But I want to have a certain angle, so I'm trying to look for a certain angle. You've got to think of where he's actually standing. He's standing about here. But I don't want to make him. I don't want to make the sign too small, but I don't want to make it taller than him. But I'm going to stop this recording very soon. Okay, I think this is okay. So kind of like this. Maybe I can just adjust that sign a bit here, like that. Okay, so you can't change one thing to make it work. Change the other thing to make that work. Look at things from different perspectives, you know. So thinking in visualizing your scenes in a 3D kind of way, you know. Yeah. So what's behind there? I want to have maybe like what do I have in the other scene here? Yeah, I want to have like a wall or something really, but it's like I have to have that further back, I think. Really, this shouldn't be there. This is a really rough sketch anyway, but it's going to be turned into real art. Real art. Oh yeah, exactly. There's a staircase that goes down here. Yeah, I gotta like, keep visualizing this. Okay, like it's a real thing, you know, a real place. Got to see the distance actually from there. The distance, mind you. Okay, we can have it like that. It's okay. Steps going down, rough step design. It's not really that good at all actually, it's terrible. That's terrible. Like that, yeah, okay. Something like that. You've got to see this thing in 3D, see in my mind I need to see it as though it's 3D, you know. So I guess that's going to be going around there somewhere. What's behind here then? You're going to have maybe a wall maybe here. Behind there maybe. Maybe another wall. Now that looks kind of dead. I want to have some like interesting background. I want to have some trees or something. But this is what I'm trying to say. See, I'm just trying to get the basic overall visuals. The scenes here. I don't know what I'm going to have in it, trees or what. Yeah, I'm not too sure. But I know it's going to be a sign. He's reading it as it's a map or something. I want it to be a big map where he's finding his way around, showing the area. You see, really. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have like a fence or something behind here with a little mesh fence like that. I'm not too sure how I want this to look. Maybe something there. Something like that, you know. Maybe a tree in front that's there, maybe. I want to have something in front of that. I don't know what. I'm literally just trying to like see whatever I can see in my mind. in the background I just want to have structures of buildings, like roughly done buildings and stuff, like nothing in particular. Maybe I can have a tree that comes out like that, maybe a low one or something. I don't like it already. I don't like it. I don't want it to be just distracting. You see, I think it's a little bit too distracting. There's so much stuff going on. I want this to be such a simple scene. I don't want anything else to be like in the way, distracting us from this this main scene. I want to have it a bit like this, maybe, where like something directing the eyes towards the thing, you know, towards this scene. Why does that end there? This is the thing. I want this place to be a strange place, like it's on different levels and stuff. Okay, hold on. I'm getting ideas now. And that goes down there, meaning that's on the other side, meaning this has got to be like maybe a low fence or something here, maybe a fence, yeah. That would make sense. Like this, and you can keep everything like kind of stick figure style anyway, you know. So even the scene, the stick figure type style, you know. What kind of a wall do I want? Do I want one of those ones like that with the things on it, or just a simple wall? I'm not too sure. Yeah, maybe a wall with some papers and stuff stuck to it, some leaflets. I'm not too sure. Maybe just a wall like that. It's a high wall, maybe. Yeah, I don't want it to be too distracting, as I say. I want to have this on the other side, as I say, like more like fences far away, maybe things like that, and just shapes like buildings and some rough, yeah, like that, yeah, in the distance, you know. And again, like different levels. There's a lot of levels. You'll see what I mean in the following scenes. Hopefully in the real cartoon, he's going to go to this place with like different levels and stuff. He's going to go down into this place. I'm still not too happy with this stick figure. It's like still very fat kind of thing. I want to have it like, you know, he's a slim guy really, you know. Anyway, thanks for watching this crap. You know, he's just trying to visualise stuff, you know. And again, other things I want to say, like he's standing awfully close to that damn thing. So, you know. Oh, excuse me. Okay, so let me just check we're still recording this damn thing. Hope you're enjoying this. As I say, we're still recording. Good. I'm going to have to stop the recording very soon. Okay. Again, even this one on the left, it's not like it's not a great picture anyway. I mean, you can see that the guy looks much smaller, doesn't he? Like this, for example, like this. See, what I'm really doing is I'm trying to visualise the whole thing. I'm not trying to get the sizes absolutely perfect. So I think this will do. I was going to change the size of this sign here, you know, to be bigger and stuff. Do a bit of that here, see. Sometimes I work with thinner brushes, sometimes I work with thicker brushes, see, to get the details, but to get the basic shape, you know. And again, but you know, sometimes you mess the thing up. It's like, and the same with the other picture here with the size, like it's a bit close and stuff. But I'm not trying to get perfect art. See, I'm spending too long, way too long on doing these sketches. But I'm supposed to be just working the basic scenery up. See, I put a lot of detail into this one, but you've got to put some amount of detail, you know. I'm going to quickly just save this as something or other, because I'm going to need to I'm going to need to come back to this as an actual file. It's nearly 2 o'clock in the morning, man. Wow. I'm not really prepared, I tell you that. I'm ready to do a lot of art tonight, so be tired tomorrow. I'm going to pay for it, but you know, it's alright. I'll get a good sleep when I can, you know. Okay, so what's the next scene? I'm trying to think of the next scene. Next scene's supposed to be like from another angle, so I originally had a 3D setup. If you remember, I had a 3D setup. So I had this. Can't remember what this is for now, but oh, this was another one I had. This was another one I had. Yeah. So now I think I lost what I had. Yeah, I took some different photos the other day for the 3D thing. See, so he's like looking. He's walking towards us, then we see him far away. So yeah, what I really want to have is a side-by-side shot before we get this, or somewhere, and I can rearrange the shots, you know. I want to have another side-by-side shot, okay? Meaning, like he's here. So I'm just drawing some lines. He's here, okay? Shoulders here, arms here. Foot's here, whatever, and he's looking at so he's not standing so close to the damn thing, you know, but the sign's about here, see, and that's that. Now it's looking really, obviously really flat, you know. Gotta think of how much you're gonna have of that, you know. Sorry to be talking a load of crap, by the way. I know I'm talking crap, but I have to get into this, you know, what I'm doing. But again, that kind of, what do you call it, composition is not working well. Composition, what you want to have is a good composition. See, this is where sometimes the 3D stuff really works well, because you can get the visualization of it all, you know. So, if I do a line here, no, I want it to be a lowish kind of line, so for the horizon. So I'm going to do a point there. How close is he going to be? Hang on. So I want him to be standing in accordance with that. Well, that's like way too facing us. I don't like it. I want to see another side on angle. Okay, I'm going to try and do something here. I'll do a square. Oh, I didn't want to do that, but I'll do a rough square, a rough rectangle, and I'm going to just change the angle of it. So this is the kind of length I want of this thing. I'm going to do a little cheat thing. I'm going to just go in, quickly select that part. Turn it around in 3D, excuse me, like this. It's just a rough sketch anyway, you know. More or less what we had, but it's just giving me more control of it, you know. Of exactly what I want. Okay, yeah, okay. Yeah, something like that. Okay. Something like that. It's not perfect, but something like that. The road's going to be about here. Oh, go back to the same layer. It's like a path. There's not actually a path there, but it's like as such. But we're going to get him some way on a path. It's coming from this direction a moment ago. He's come from down here. He's standing about here, looking. The body about there. Head's about there. So you've got to get used to just doing rough stick figures like that. You have to. Not getting carried away, you know, just have, because that's what's going to make it, you know. Head's a little bit looking down, I don't know why. It's a bit better. Still though, I'm still not liking his position. Oh, I've got to cut this guy out and move him across. See, I love the way you can do this kind of stuff, just cutting him out. So that's kind of what we want though. Yeah, can't get too fussy. Okay, so we got that. Excuse me. Okay, make sure you're on the right layer. Always make sure you're on the right layer. What's one of the best advice you could give in doing art digitally, make sure you're on that right layer always, or you might mess up big time. Kind of a strange perspective here I've got, it's kind of strange, but you know. Now don't forget what we got there. On this side we've got this fence here and we're behind there, so there's a wall about there. We'll use a thin brush, it's okay. Do the fence here, see? I've just got to go in, follow the lines of perspective. That's right, the ones in our mind currently, but you know, keep it in the perspective. Should be a little bit longer, I feel. Change that, see, do that. Change the thickness of the brush a little bit there, but okay, going in, trying to get the lines right, just mocking them up, you know. Now he's got a wall that goes on an angle here, a wall that goes on an angle, so that's about there. That goes about there, and there's a wall. Having said that, I'm doing it in the wrong. I'm doing that in the wrong. I seem to be doing that in the wrong line there. I don't know what it is. Something's going wrong there. Is that right? Hang on. Be there. Kind of thing. Yeah. And then it goes straight there. Straight, and then it bends in. Something like, maybe I should have started it there and then gone up like that. Yeah, a bit too close maybe. So yeah. It's like you've got to get your perspective right, you know. Okay, so trying to do what I can, you know. So then what? Yeah, so that goes across there. I mean, we're not gonna see the staircase from here. It's too far away as such. Oh, excuse me. Also, there isn't really a line here where the ground is as such. Just a little bit to show like some road path as such. Now from this side we're going to see more of that, different things in the background, where again it's just rough shapes like buildings and stuff. That goes down, you know, this is a thing here, see, it's like a big map, one of those signs they have with maps on, you know. Still, it should be a bit longer, I feel, should be a bit longer in this shot. But in saying that, I think I'm wrong, I think I'm really wrong, because it's the perspective, isn't it, it's the perspective. But I think this should be about here. I've just got a feeling that this should be about here. More turned away from us like that. Slightly, you know. Yeah. But it was better when it was closer like that, see. This has got to be the most boring video anybody could watch on YouTube. Yeah, at least give me a thumbs up for saying that, saying the truth. But no, from here see things, and again from this side you could have like some other things. You could do like some more fences or something, like whatever it's going to be. You know, be like that, a wall with some fencing on or something. Got to give these ideas, because even though it's not supposed to be a detailed thing, it's just it's just a mock-up, you know. We should make this part of wall, I think, solid here. This part connects round. Or this could actually be part of a bigger building, actually, to cover all that up. That would make more sense, actually, like that. Yeah. So the lines go across there, see. He's a little bit tall, I feel. He's a little bit taller than we'd need, you know. Now the head's too small. Keep the body build in mind. Now here, from here, so, you know. So that's that, you know. gritty stone area, and you know, I was just feeling a little bit. I think the guy's a little bit too close in this particular shot here. So you can have like the wall here, like I said, with that fence, a little bit of a fence closer. See, there from here. See, not the best angle really, you know, but. See, and also it's distracting too by having that there kind of thing. You see what I mean? It's kind of distracting from the whole scene. You don't need to have so much stuff going on. You see? No, so I just erase that quickly for what I did there. I'm going to stop this recording very soon, okay? And again, this sign, we'll just keep it like how it is there. See, so that's 3. But I should be like banging through this so fast. I'm trying to get the perspective right. You see? File save. Remember to save. Oh, I can see you can hold Control and press S there to save. That's good. Hang on. Yeah. Okay. So you know, it's just rough sketching, you know, to get the scenery. What other scenes do we need? I want to have a scene where he's just close and he's just thinking about it. So just a shot of him. The guy, so he's standing here, so I don't need to think about too much. Yeah, a shot where we just literally see him. I think it's really a half shot. When I say half shot, I mean where you see the top, the torso and the head. So I'm just going to do a rough mock-up of that. Do a rough face, rough facing figure here. His arms by his side there. And he's looking at this map, right? He's looking at the map. He's going to probably say something, you know. I've not worked out my actual design of exactly what he looks like, the character, yet. Exactly. I've got the basic idea of what the character looks like. He's not the biggest, muscliest character. This guy. I'm not drawing him here properly, by the way. I'm just literally just sketching in a figure so we can see the kind of angle we want. See, I think that's not exactly what I want to have there. Let's do another version. I want to have something like you can see the whole body. Something like that, believe it or not. Sometimes you might need to draw the whole body foot. I'm going to choose one of these two, left or right. I'm going to go with that. Make it bigger. Exactly the kind of angle we want. And what I'm really going for is more of him in view, where he's looking directly forward at the sign, as though we are the sign and he's looking at it, sort of thing. You know. That kind of a view, you know. Okay, so from here, I'm just erase that other guy on the left there. So sometimes the most simplest stuff is what you want to go with, you know. Oh, excuse me, excuse my language too. That's that there. So, you know, get rid of that. Again, we're going to move. Well, you need to select the area because they're all on one layer, so I do need to cut him out first. Otherwise I'm going to move the whole thing by accident. I don't want to do that. You know, yeah, this is going to give us a little bit more of a view. So we're going to have a view of him, and we're going to have a view of like what's going on behind him. I don't want to have too much going on, like too much stuff, you know. Like definitely like he's in this open space, you know. Different things like in the back, little buildings or what's going on in the back, you know. Things like that, a wall or even like we just had with that mesh on it, you know. He's just come back from down that way. I was going to draw like a road, you know, but we don't have to have that, you know. But you can have different kinds of things. You can have some steps maybe leading to some building or something up there. We'll just do another building there to cut that off. It's hard because I'm trying to visualise good art in my mind, like visualise good scenery and stuff, but it's like, it's just, you know, you can only do what you can. See, I think that's too much of a distraction really, because like having that building there in the background, it's like almost like trying to make us look at it, so we don't want to have too much stuff going on in the background. I want to make it really simple. It should just be like little you know, again, like similar to what we had in the other scenes, like very simple shapes and stuff. See, like they're buildings, yes, but and things like that. It doesn't even need to have so much detail, you know, just certain things like that. So we can see he's come from that way, you know. If there was a tree, there'd be a tree, you know what I mean? If there was a tree, things like that. I'm not going to put one in exactly, but you know. Maybe some rubbish lying around or whatever, some boxes, I don't even know. I think I'm going to have to just leave it till I actually come up with the actual real thing, I think. So you in here just changing things and stuff, trying to get composition sort of thing, you know. That's the... I could just even have a colour in the background, you know. I think the problem with this, I'd say the big problem is the perspective in this. What I've just done here, I've messed it up because we're looking kind of straight at him, aren't we? You see, the perspective should be like this. We shouldn't see much of the lower area there. Yeah, see? You know, we should have it like that. I don't know exactly what the hell I'm drawing here. I'm just trying to... Well, you see how I'm doing that. I could just do different levels of stuff too, and different things, just to make it look like he's come from somewhere, you know. He's come from somewhere. Eyes now, eyes level. The eye level is quite important because he's looking at us, he's looking straight forward. Sometimes I just draw circles, you know, that's the best. I like to just start off with like a kind of real cartoony kind of setup, rough, you know, really rough, and then I'll draw a proper face on it later on. That's what I usually like to do. You know, do a rough version first, and then later on we'll do a proper character, you know. You know. Okay, so these buildings and stuff are still like far away from it, these shapes and whatever they are, you know. So it's okay. And the hair would be about however his hair is going to be. Well, I've not decided exactly yet. But you got the hair, you know. This guy can have a certain look about him. I'm not 100% sure on how he's going to look, this character, yet. The actual real, when I really draw him, I'm saying. But I like to experiment with a few different ways, see what he's going to look like, you know. How big his head's going to be, you know. The eyes and things like the eyes are very important. They're going to be big eyes or small or whatever. You know. Just got to work it as you go, you know. It's one of them things. And again, if the head's too big, then they end up looking like a child or like one of those. I know they got those chibi character things they do as well, chibi or whatever they're called as well. I know, but I'm just saying, like. I'm just a terrible poor artist, man. I don't want to make him look like some real absolute skinny shit, you know. But he's like, see, I want to keep this still as a stick figure, really. So I'm just going to erase that, keep this simple as, just because I want to work it out later on. Sometimes I just do silhouettes, you know. Like I say, I do a silhouette first, you know, a rough silhouette. I'm much more comfortable doing silhouettes because when I I'm able to see more detail. Some strange way I'm able to see more detail. I can see that as a character now in my mind compared to what I just had up there, but you've still got to understand where the things are, like the shoulders, the hips, you know, and whatever, if you're drawing a character, you know. But the thing is, you know, so I work with both stick figures and silhouettes, you know. So yeah, in this scene he's just looking at the sign. I was going to have like a downward view, but the thing is, like, we're having so many different views now of this character. It's not even worth it. Like, almost, it's like, why are we having so many views of the same scene? You know? So here he is looking. This is like looking down. Okay, we're looking down on him now from this angle, looking down. So the road's here, sort of thing. You know, the road. If you can imagine, like a road, isn't it? Not exactly a road. He's just come down from down that way. But no, he's standing there, and we're looking down on the guy from here, see, you know, like this, you know, and that's basically all we're doing, looking down. See how simple we did this one, very simple. Sometimes you can do really simple ones, you know. Again, this will be the top of that fencing there, which was there, you know, or the bars, you know. There's the end of this flooring there, goes down, and then this will be there. You know, if there were shadows, we could have cast like a shadow, you know, here or something like that, you know. But I'm not going to do that. You know what I mean, like here and then make a shadow. I'm not going to do that, you know, for this. It's just a rough thing, you know. But this is roughly what we can do. So if there was like a wall, other things like I could show, like rubbish, like a Coke can on the ground or something there, or anything, a piece of paper, some papers or something. You can make it more interesting, the scene, you know. But this is just going to be simple. I'm going to move things as well, don't forget. Like, I'm going to finish this video now, okay, by the way, guys. I'm just telling you just quickly, I'm going to be working on this behind the scenes, but you can move things like this, you know, so to get a better kind of sense of the camera angle, because I'm trying to set up the camera basically and the rough idea of composition stuff, so when I know exactly what I'm going to do, I'll be, you know, working with it much better, you know. So I think I'm going to come back to this when I can, this one. So we'll just take a quick look at what it looks like, zooming up on the full screen sort of thing. Going to have this sort of scene, he's walking towards the thing, then he's there, and then we've got this side by side, and then we've got this one here, he's facing us, and then we're looking down on him. But I can change the order of that and do different things. The next thing he's going to do, oh excuse me, the next thing we're going to do is please excuse me, the next thing we're going to do is he's going to go down those steps, that staircase. He's going to go down those steps down there. So I'm probably going to have to work those scenes out. What's next? Like, he's going to look over to the stairs, or, you know, he's going to, in the next scene, yeah, the next scene he's just going to look. His eyes are going to look to a close up of his eyes, like looking, you know, and then you'll see him like going down the staircase maybe. So just do that very quickly, like, you know, the eyes, however the eyes are going to be. He's just going to go look to that side, you know, basically. That's the whole idea of it. But what's down there, kind of thing? He's looking in that direction, you know, which would be his right. So rough. I know it's really rough. I'm just saying, you know, look into that staircase here. Okay, so I'm going to just quickly say that as it is. It's a rough thing. And I say thanks for watching, guys. Lots of good art on the way. Thanks for watching. Take care now. Thank you very much for watching. I hope some tips have helped. I hope the tips on Sketchup have helped you too, by the way. And I'll see you again very soon. Thanks for watching. Don't sleep too late now, like me.